Ta-da! You made it. 6 weeks ago, we began our overview of the Old Testament, and now we've gone from Genesis to the last book, Malachi. I'm not expecting that you're going to remember all the facts that we've been throwing at you, but there are some key facts that I hope will stick with you. So let's take a quick review. Genesis begins with God's creating the universe, the earth, and in particular Adam and Eve. The consequences of their sin, often referred to as the fall, are told in the first 11 chapters. Cain kills Abel, Noah and his family survive the flood, and false pagan religions are born and thrive. But beginning in chapter 12, God begins to reveal himself through the four patriarchs, Abraham and his wife Sarah, living around 2000 BC, their son Isaac, his son Jacob, and his son Joseph. Remember, Jacob's name is changed to Israel, and the descendants of his 12 sons are called the children of Israel, or the Israelites. Later, they're called Jews. Jacob and his sons move to Egypt, where they grow to be a large nation of slaves. After 400 years of slavery, God uses Moses and his successor Joshua to lead the nation out of slavery and into the land that he had promised to Abraham. After years of being a loose federation led by judges, they become a united kingdom, led by the kings Saul, David, and Solomon around 1000 BC. Then a civil war splits the kingdom, and both the northern nation of Israel and the southern nation of Judea move farther and farther away from God. And eventually Israel is destroyed, and Judea becomes a vassal state controlled by the superpower Babylon. During this time, God, through his prophets, warns and woos the people to return to him, but they do not. And when the last Old Testament book, Malachi, closes in about 450 BC, those few Jews who remain in and around Jerusalem are far from God. And for the next 400 years, God seems silent and far away, or so it seems. Like the 9 months when a couple are expectantly awaiting the birth of their child, God has told the Jews that he has not given up on them, that a Messiah will come from God. This promised one is described in terms both vague and lofty. He'll rule over God's people forever. He'll be a bright light to all mankind. He'll lead people back to God. He will suffer for the sins of the world. But who is he? When will he come? How will we know him? Will he free us from these Romans? Silence. Generation after generation, century after century, they waited. Some still believed and waited with hope. Many forgot God's promises or thought that God had forgotten them. But when the fullness of time had come, while the world wandered in the darkness and waited in the silence, an angel appeared to a virgin named Mary, and the New Testament begins.